they came in as a class, and it would have been one of our better teams. We were just coming off a playoff appearance in 2019 and had basically everyone back. And then that season was taken away from us. But I guess the thing that stands out was they were a large class. They had certainly a level of talent that we were excited about. And then everybody had to try and figure out what we were going to do that year. And, as everyone that went through it, it was a tough time. And, we had some guys, we lost some guys, I think, because of COVID. It was a large class, but we also probably had our largest amount of kids that did not stay at Case. They were very frustrated and either went home or many of them transferred to universities in the South that were more open than we were. So that is kind of what stands out. There was some anticipation coming in, and then it just instantly changed. It was very, very different, and everybody had to try and navigate their way through it. And again, great majority of guys stayed and navigated through it. And we came out on the other end, and they played their sophomore year. We had probably our largest amount of underclassmen starting in 2021. And they were thrown into the fire, and they've improved every year. We took our lumps their sophomore year, and their junior and senior year, we've been very competitive in an extremely competitive league. So it's a little bit about what could have been their freshman year, but after that it was more of we built on their class to where we are today, which I think is a really good football team. I think there is as a group, they do work hard and they work together. That's one thing that is different at Case with all the engineering majors and pre-med majors and the scheduling conflicts, that it's really hard to bring a group together. And this group wanted to be together. They live together, off-campus housing. I mean, there's so many of them that live in duplexes that 9 out of the 10 guys are people from their class, and play football. So I think it's a group that, every group's different, but this group I think is really tight, and they want to be around each other. They want to live together. They want to work out together. And obviously they want to, play the game together. So you don't always get that. You always strive for that, but you don't always get that. And this group, I think, just looking back through my 20 years, was one of the more cohesive groups that wanted to be together. And they view themselves that way too. When we had our off-season meetings before the year, they wanted to make some changes. And I said, well, guys, when we've done this in the past, that always hasn't worked. And he goes, Coach, we're different. We're a different group. And yeah, we did those things, and everybody fell in line, and through the seniors' leadership. And again, we did a lot more things in the off season together than we ever have. Individual moments, it's a pretty diverse group. The leaders of the group are maybe different. They lead very differently. Jace stands out. Jace Merritt stands out as the guy that is unequivocally, if you point to one person, the leader of this group. He is a special leader with his leadership skills, and he just has a way of bringing everybody together. And then, Tong leads in a very different way. He's a different personality, and he leads in a very, very different way. But I think we do have a lot of guys that can lead and aren't afraid to step up and lead. And sometimes at Case, that's a challenge too, because we don't have the most social people sometimes, and maybe guys that don't talk a lot. But this group has those types of personalities.